Hey guys, and welcome to the battle phase and another video. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at this Lyrilusc Tri-Brigade deck. It's a bird up deck, but it has a neat little spin. I added the word Morphtronic inside because it utilizes the Morphtronics and the Lyrilusc Tri-Brigade cards to perform FTK combos. This deck very easily FTKs our opponent with some interesting combos that I'm going to show in the combo tutorial video. But what's very interesting is that these combos can be performed using just Lyrilusc and Tri-Brigade cards, right? So the whole deck is maybe geared towards performing this FTK combos and doing the normal bird up Lyrilusc Tri-Brigade combos as more of a backup if the FTKs fails. So without further ado, let me take you into this deck. And if you like interesting spins on decks, please do consider subscribing. So starting off with the Lyrilusc package that we use, we are going to be playing 3 copies of Lyrilusc Turquoise Warbler and the 3 copies of Lyrilusc Cobalt Sparrow. These are very important because a combination of these two, so 1 Cobalt Sparrow and 1 Turquoise Warbler, is the FTK. Okay, so if you open these 2 cards, you do have the FTK. Now, what is important is that there is multiple other ways you can also FTK, and I'll show you, but these 2 are the most important ones, right? This is the search, and this is the special summon of the other ones. So, for the remainder of the Lyrilusc package, we do play the 2 copies of Wagtail, the 2 copies of Sapphire Swallow. These monsters are also really good. This is used during the combo, and can in some hands also FTK. And this one is really good because of its search effect. You can, for instance, replace the Cobalt Sparrow with Wagtail, so you can open also these 2, and you still have the full combo, right? So that's why these are good. But most importantly, we also play the 3 copies of Lyrilusc Bird Call, clearly, which can replace any of these 2, right? So for instance, this and this is then also full combo, or this and this is then also full combo, right? So you can already see here that getting the FTK combo is pretty consistent, also utilizing the bird calls and also utilizing the 1 copy of 1/1 that we also play, right? So again, 1/1 and either Sparrow or either Warbler is again the FTK. So you can already see that using these Lyriluscs, you can do the FTK very, very consistently, okay? Moving on to the Tri-Brigade portion of the deck, we do play 3 copies of Tri-Brigade Fractal. The reason why we play 3 Tri-Brigade Fractal, because you guessed it, Tri-Brigade Fractal by himself is also the FTK that this deck aims to do. So you also want to open Tri-Brigade Fractal as much as you want, alongside obviously the 3 copies of Fire Formation Tanky that searches you the Fractal. So these 6 cards by themselves are already the FTK as well, besides the other combinations of the Lyriluscs. So you can see that this deck FTKs or does the combo very consistently, and that's the reason why we do not play Small World in this deck, because there is so many ways we can get to the FTK combo that we just do not need the Small World, right? It is consistent enough. For the remainder of the Tri-Brigade package, we do play the 3 copies of Nerval. We do play 3 Nervals because he is a level 1 winged beast, so he blends very well with the Lyriluscs. And then just the 1 copy of Kit and just the 1 copy of Karas. Okay, this might be a bit weird, but this is a Lyrilusc Tri-Brigade deck, not a pure Tri deck. And it also focuses more on the Lyriluscs than on the Tri-Brigades, so 1/1 here is fine for this kind of a hybrid deck. Okay, now to our FTK package, to the package that allows us to perform the FTK. It consists of 1 copy of Rescue Ferret, the 1 copy of Cannon Soldier, and then the 2 copies of Morphtronic Telephone, okay? These 4 cards here allow us to perform the FTK combo. What does Rescue Ferret does? He can be summoned. He's a beast, so he's searchable by Shoe Rake. You can summon him, shuffle him in the deck, and then summon from deck monsters whose total levels equal 6 to zones link monsters points to. So we will summon the Telephone, Cannon Soldier. The level together is 6. Okay, you can already see where this leads, but sadly their effects are negated. But you're also going to have on the field the pretty newish card, World Sea Dragon of Zelantis, that can banish them and then resummon them, and they don't have the effects negated. And once you have these on the field, it's pretty clear what you do. You loop the Telephons while sacrificing them for Cannon Soldier, dealing 500 damage each time. Because Cannon Soldier, you can sacrifice a monster, tribute a monster, deal 500 to your opponent. And Telephon, you can roll a die. Whatever you roll, that's the number, the level or lower you can summon a Morphtronic from the grave. It's not a hard once per turn, so we can loop like this, bring back like that, and then loop them and do the FTK. So this is what gives you the FTK and what we'll be utilizing for the FTK. Okay, since this is a FTK focused deck, obviously we do play the Call by the Grave. We do not want our FTK to get interrupted. During some of the combos, we will also be putting F0 on the board, so we will be a bit hand trap protected, let's say. That's Called by the Grave. And obviously we also play the Foolish Burial. It is a Tri-Brigade deck, so this is a good card. What is really good about this deck is it has a lot of flex spots. So for the flex spots, we do play one copy of DD Crow. This is the only mandatory card out of this section because it is searchable, so it comes up. And then for the hand traps, I play 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence, 3 copies of Ash, the Joyous Spring, and 2 copies of Effect Veiler in order to round up this deck to 40. Now all of the cards here, so all of the cards that I do have here, are flex spots. These are the hand traps I chose. You can choose anything else. You can choose any other hand traps like Nibiru's, Drolls, Bells, whatever. You can also choose board breakers or focus more going second, right? You can go for Dark Lure No Mores and so on. So these are the flex spots in the deck. You can use them whatever you will. I do just like the DD Crow because it is searchable in the deck, right? So that is 74% chance to open one of these cards going first, and more importantly, 81% chance going second. So yeah, but these are the flex spots, and there's a lot of, interruption here. A lot of flex spots in this deck, which actually is pretty nice. Now to the extra deck. We do play the Tri-Brigade. For the Tri-Brigades, we do play 2 copies of Ferjit. Okay? We do play the 1 copy of Bearbrum. Bearbrum is really important. We're going to be using the second effect of Bearbrum, which is you can discard 2 cards from your hand, and then you special a banished Tri. That's going to be really important for the combo. Then 1 copy of Rugal. He's important for the arrows because of Rescue Ferret. And then the 2 copies of Shorig. We're going to be summoning him, linking him off, so he can search the Rescue Ferret, right? This is the Tri package. The second Ferjit and the second Shurig are not really needed. They can be flex spots. You can play whatever you wish instead of this, okay? This is for the Tris. Moving on, again, this deck plays like a normal bird up Lyrilusc Tri-Brigade, right? So if you do not do the FTK, you don't have to. If you get interrupted or you don't want to do the FTK, you don't have to. You can play as a normal bird up deck, and that's why we also play the Double Dragon Lords, the Havness, and the Appaloosa, right? These are your basic bird up end board pieces. Again, you can make them if you don't go for the FTK, but they do not bear anything during the FTK, okay? But again, you can do that. And then obviously the MVP, the Zelantis. This card lets you perform the FTK, and it's also a 1-card link off for Shurig because he does require only 1+ effect monsters, right? The final part of this is the Xyz. Okay, so 2 copies of Recital Starling. It's important for the combo, obviously, and then the F0 package, like this. Beside the Recital Starling, you do also play the 1 copy of the Robin. I'll just proxy it here because I couldn't find my copy. The Robin is also important because, again, you can combo like a normal Lyrilusc Tri-Brigade deck. Also, turn 3, turn 4, it can come up, right? So it does come up. It's an important end board piece, so do play it. And the 2 Starlings. And then, obviously, the F0 package. F0 package is actually made with 2 Starlings. You're going to summon the 2 Starlings, get their searches, and then just overlay into F0. And that is going to give you that some hand trap protection, also makes space on the board, right? So, and that is basically the deck. Yeah, you can actually see from actually how the deck looks, you can actually see that this basically is not that different from a basic Tri-Brigade Lyrilusc deck. And in fact, it isn't. It can perform all of its combos. But for the cost of 4 cards, 2 Telephons, 1 Cannon Soldier, and 1 Rescue Ferret, you can perform a very consistent FTK combo as well. And that combo is shown in the combo tutorial video for this deck that is also posted on the channel. So thank you guys for watching. A very short video this time, but there's not really much to talk about Bird Up other than the FTK that is the specialty of this deck. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.